What I see is a real change in both the way people think about their desire to collaborate and to participate, that I call the citizen mentality, along with enabling technologies like easy to use mobile communications, all kinds of devices that people can take with them wherever they are and always be connected to others, along with things like multi-touch technologies where more and more people can work on data and communicate at the same time, and changes in organizations that are enabled by changes in the culture and changes in technology that enable them to be flatter, to be more participatory, to be more open, and wrap that all up with an increasing sense of optimism despite all the challenges that we have in the world today. And I'm very optimistic that new things will emerge from this and have a major impact not only on business, but also on society and the way that we relate to each other as people. Computers as currently defined aren't very collaborative technologies. And what we're starting to see is some glimmers of change. One of them that I feel very optimistic about is multi-touch technology. And we see it most commonly in things like the iPhone and many other phones that have touch capabilities. But we also see it now available on large wall-sized screens. And it inherent, and the Microsoft Surface, which is a table that you can sit down, and there's a company called Smart that makes a thing for elementary school students that has educational multiplayer games on it. And so what multi-touch enables people to do is to interact with information and with each other, many people at a time, maybe several to dozens of people at a time. And this fundamentally changes the paradigm that we've been stuck in for the last 25 years of one person, one computer. And it also enables people to collaborate across space. So I think that combined with communications technology that allows people to have ubiquitous connections and always on connections, I think is going to make a huge difference in the way that people work together. One of the things that's really critical for enabling a kind of future that many people, including me, would like to see, where people get to collaborate across the world and people get to help each other. And we're already seeing bits and pieces of this. For example, in some of the health sites like Patients Like Me, which is a site that I think is really exceptional because it's for people who have chronic diseases that are not very common and widely distributed, and it allows them to come together in one place and share their feelings, share the way that they're treating their illnesses, and actually has become a source of information for doctors and researchers to use to understand what works and what doesn't work and to get some ideas from that. Having a sense of optimism and a belief in the future is really key. I think that too many organizations and too many industries have not changed very much over many years, and that often quoted phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Well, I think that is one of the dumbest phrases that I've ever heard, because if you don't change it, it's going to be broken pretty soon and you're going to have to fix it. So anyway, those industries I think got very complacent and very used to doing things in a certain way, and in a way very pessimistic about the world and about their potential impact on the world. In contrast, we see small startups where there might be one or two or six people who really believe they can change the world, and many of them do in significant ways. The old-fashioned hierarchical organization is really great for a lot of things in terms of breaking down tasks into efficient little bits, feeding them into the silos that don't talk to each other, and getting some output. Unfortunately, it doesn't really work that well when you're trying to innovate, because silos don't communicate with each other, and therefore it restricts innovation. And also when you're trying to really be very quick and responsive to the outside world. So I think it's forcing companies to flatten their organization hierarchy and to look more toward both inside for the wisdom and intelligence they have in the organization, and outside to look at the wisdom of the crowd and their customers and their suppliers and so on for help. And so it's happening. Some are jumping in with both feet. Some are just putting their little toe into it. I think one interesting example actually is Cisco, which has always been a very hierarchical organization, very traditional. And most recently, in the past couple of years, they've really done a very serious job of trying to decentralize a lot of their functions. They've actually moved entire groups of executives to India, for example, to show, look, we're a global company. We can't run ourselves only from Silicon Valley. Let's put people in different parts of the world and work 24 hours a day, essentially. And they've also built in the kind of enabling technology, like their video conferencing technology that's enabled them to collaborate worldwide across time and space.